CoD League play is garbage in Black Ops Cold War. Ladies and gents, my name is Xander, aka Diaside, and in this video, we're going to do a discussion on one thing and one thing alone, and that is Call of Duty League play in Black Ops Cold War. You've been waiting for this, I've been waiting for this, we've all been waiting for this thing to come out, and man do I gotta say, it's a colossal disappointment. For those of you that don't really know what this is, it's the definition of competitive esports for all of us typical gamers out there. If you like watching competitive CoD esports, and some of your favorite teams might be Optic Gaming or FaZe or whatever it might be, this is what League play was supposed to be like. But man do I gotta say that it's no bueno, and to really find out why, the only thing left to do is just to simply sit back, relax, eviscerate that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's jump right into the video. So let me start off by first explaining the first 5 divisions. Number 1 is Master, and it consists of the top 2% of all players. Number 2 is Elite, and this is the top 3 to 10% of players. After this is Expert, and this consists of the top 11 to 15% of players. And fourth is Advanced, which consists of the top 16 to 20% of players. And last but certainly not least is Competitor, and that's the vast majority of players, consisting of 50% of the player base. Within each division, you then have 2 more things, and that consists of ranks as well as a ladder system. So what exactly is all this? Well, let me explain. Each division consists of 30 ranks, and to rank up from rank to rank, one needs 3 gems. To get 3 gems, one needs to earn ladder points and place within the top 25 places of that ladder. First place gets 5 gems. Second place through 5th place gets 4 gems. 10th place through 6th place then gets 3 gems, and so by this to then be 25th through the 11 places, which then get 2 gems. Now to earn ladder points to get these gems, you have to play in a ladder course, and this is then going to consist of 3 or 4 days for a time frame to complete this one ladder course. Now don't get me wrong, there's going to be many ladders in which you can compete in, but keep in mind that they're only going to last for once again 3 to 4 days, and as soon as you're done with each ladder, all your ladder points that you're then going to incur within that ladder are then going to reset for the next one. As of the making of this video, this actually hasn't occurred yet, a full ladder that is, and so it's only making logical sense that your ladder points are then going to reset in the next ladder, and so on and so forth. Upon first inspection, you might think this is a great system, a terrible system, or maybe it's in between, in essence, good or bad. And to you I say, this is the definition of fluff cabbage trash shenanigans, and here's the primary reasons as to why. Let me ask you 3 questions. How much time does it take to earn ladder points and gain gems? How much time does it take to rank up in one's division? How much time does it take to progress to the next division? Those 3 questions are violent to understand, and essentially, you have to know-life this thing if you want to progress throughout any of those questions that I just mentioned. Think about it like this. The only real way in which you're going to earn ladder points is by winning. So if you're not winning on a fairly consistent basis, you're not going to earn any ladder points, and rather you're actually going to lose ladder points. Secondly, you have to consistently play this all the time because keep in mind, this is a culmination of ladder points in general. And so the more that you play, the more ladder points that you're then going to occur within that one 3 to 4 day ladder. Have you ever played one of your favorite songs on loop for about like a half hour? Well, imagine getting sick of that song because you're going to be playing this playlist over and over and over again, and maybe making progress as a solo player, and most likely you're going to make a lot more progress as a team. Now more about this in a little bit, but let me take one step back and remind you what that second question was, and that's how much time does it take to rank up in one's division. There are 30 ranks in every single division, so if you want to rank up once, you're going to need at least 3 gems. Within each ladder, it's going to take about 3 to 4 days, and so let's just assume that you happen to earn those 3 gems in that 3 to 4 day time frame. How much time is it going to take you to get up all the way to rank 30 within that division? 3 times 30 is 90 days. 90 days. That's absolutely ridiculous and lunacy in so many ways that I can't even begin to describe to you as to how terrible that actually is. Furthermore, this is also assuming that your progress is always going to be positive, and that means that you're going to get on lots of win streaks, that means that you're going to get lots of overall progression throughout this division, and so maybe, if that's an ideal world, you're going to rank up into the next division after 90 days. Unfortunately, we don't live in that ideal world. There's no way that we can possibly win all of our games and play at our top peak performance 24/7. It's just simply not going to happen. And having said this, I now have my second primary reason as to why this system is the definition of fluff cabbage trash shenanigans. I briefly alluded to the second reason already, but let me just ask you this question following this statement. What is the only way ladder points are awarded? That's right, winning or losing a game. There's no individual stats taken into account with this, and I'll come back to that in a second, but let me also ask you this. What is the initial division ranking based on? You called it winning or losing your first initial 5 games. Now, I'll be 110% honest. I am currently in the competitor rank, which is the bottom 50% of all the player base. This right here is complete BS, because you're going to see in a couple of seconds my stats. But the reason as to why I'm also in that bottom division, and that is because I played solo for those first 5 games, and in those 4 or 5 games, I had 2 teammates leave every single time. I lost all 5 games, but 4 of those 5 games, it was a 2v4 the entire time, and so I was getting absolutely crushed over and over and over again, simply because my teammates were leaving. No joke, Diaslayers, I had 2 guys in those 4 games who were actually AFK, and they eventually got kicked by themselves. Then it was a 3v4. But what happened later? We were getting our butts kicked to Timbuktu and back again, and it was not fun in the slightest, and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe we can pull this out, maybe we can do good as individuals, but let's try and get a team win. But sure enough, I had 1 teammate more leave, and the second thing happened again, the third teammate left, and that happened in 2 more consecutive games. If you were a solo player like myself, this is absolutely terrible and garbage in so many ways, because now I'm actually in the competitor rank and I'm going up against other players in this competitor rank, and my skill level is not in the competitor rank, so I'm just sweeping them under the rug, and it's not even fair. Just so that you guys can see what I mean, here's some of my stats. My KD ratio currently as the making this video is 1.39, and that's in the top 15% of all players playing Cold War, and this is of course according to contractor.gg. What you also will notice is that I approximately have a 49 win percentage, but more importantly than both these 2 stats is my score per minute at 621.12, which is in the top 9% of all players in this entire game. According to the Call of Duty League Play guidelines, this should then put me at least an expert, which is that 15 to 11% of all players, and maybe at the most, the elite division, which is consisting of the 3 to 10% of all players. Now keep in mind, all those stats that you guys just saw, sometimes was me going up against some sweaty McSweats, and thus I also had to go a sweaty McSweat myself, but also there's some times in there where I was doing a little bit more casual things, maybe say trying to get some diamond camos for all the weapons. You get my point, and even with that, those stats are still in the top 15 to 9% of all players. Now this isn't to show you that I'm bragging this way or that way or complaining. No, I'm not doing that. I'm simply making the point that I'm going up against players that are not at my skill level, and it's not fair to them. It's simply going to de-incentivize them to continue to play, because if you're getting your butt kicked 24/7, you don't want to play, I don't want to play, nobody wants to play that. And so it's not fun for you, it's not fun for me, and it's just a terrible time for everybody playing the game. This then brings me into my next point. If players are doing well and they're not improving their game, they're going to stop playing the playlist as a whole, and that's absolutely atrocious for the Call of Duty League play in general. If there's no players playing the player base, it's just going to be massive wait times, which I'm currently getting all the time now, and at the same time, the player base is going to be much smaller, and so I'm going to be going up against players who are already in that master or already elite divisions, and that's just simply not fair for the vast majority of players out there. Remember, what's the only way in which you're currently earning ladder points? By winning matches. And so if you happen to lose, you're going to get severely punished even if you as the individual happen to do absolutely spectacular. You could have 44, 45, 50 kill, 60 kill games in something like say Hardpoint or Control, or maybe even S&D. You have a crazy good game by getting 15 kills, then that's going to be great for your stats. But remember, if you don't win, it's not going to matter via those ladder points, and so you're still going to lose. Once again causing this environment of terrible incentivizations to actually continue for players to continue playing the playlist. Rather, what should be done is points should be awarded based upon an individual basis. How could this be done? Very simple. Simply take into account some stats like how long that you're in the hardpoint, and take that time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it might be, and convert that into some overall ladder points. In association with this, reward players for playing the objective like what I just said, and maybe also reward players for planting the bomb, defusing the bomb in search and destroy, maybe even capturing a third of the capture point in Control. You get where I'm going with this. The more that you play the objective and the more overall base stats that you contribute to the team, you as an individual should be rewarded for, and thus that should compensate the loss if you still happen to lose, and you should be able to gain some more ladder points to compensate for the lost points in the ladder system. If you couldn't already tell, This Call of Duty League play system is making me a little bit salty. For two reasons. Number one, it takes way too long to actually level up, and number two, it doesn't make it a fair, accurate representation of each individual skill level. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff down in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you like the League play system as is? What do you want to see improved? I want to hear all your feedback down in the comment section below. And no matter what you guys do say, you always know that I'm going to respect your opinions, and that is something that I can guarantee. That's much all I've got as of right now, Diaslayers. As always, GG, TNT.